You're not gonna believe how much we saved for the first month of our No Buy 2025.
Making it brighter right through the gray.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nicole if you're new. Thanks so much for clicking on today's video. Today's video is a recap for the month of January 2025. If we stuck with our no buy rules that I shared with y'all a month ago, and I am so blown away by the first month's results. So that just gives me more motivation and encouragement to keep going on this journey. But before I do talk about everything that I've learned so far and the results from last January to now, pop in the comments if you have stuck with your no buy 2025, how much money you've saved, and what are you proud of, bumps in the road, all the things. Let's converse and see how we all did together in our first month of this no buy 2025. The no buy, I talked about all my rules. I will share that video if you did not see it, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I did make a calendar that I put up on the refrigerator to keep me on schedule with this no buy too. So I'm gonna kind of go over some of the things that I learned from tracking everything on this calendar on the fridge for the whole month. This calendar I just made on Canva. I think I shared it in my community tab here on YouTube and on Instagram and my stories for y'all to take a screenshot. And what I did is I made my absolute no's for the entire month, which is basically that video, so I'm not gonna bore y'all with that, but I will tell y'all that I did not purchase anything on the absolute no list, with the exception of the water talk shit, which is the water packets or the Jordan Skinny Syrup enhancers. I ran out of water packets. I know, crazy. The boys helped me too with flavors that I wasn't so fond of. They were, you know, they'll eat or drink anything at this point. Not really, but with the water packets, they don't discriminate. So they helped me out with some of them. I mentioned in a vlog recently that I am not going to purchase the Jordan Skinny Syrups, even when we go through them. I just think at this point that it is money down the drain. They cost a lot of money and I get the same satisfaction with just drinking the packets. So I did buy some more water packets, but just enough to get me through the weeks, not anything over consumption like I was doing before. So that's the only thing that's not on the absolute no anymore. Everything else I stuck to. Use up first was my makeup, hair care, body care, cleaning products. We are doing that. If you're watching the videos, I've been talking about and showcasing those things in those videos. So if you're not watching those and just coming to these, please watch those throughout the month because I kind of talk about it all month long and not just in these recap videos. Declutter goals I had for myself were holiday decor purge. I did do that, not fully, but if you watch that video, we did make a big chunk, so I'm happy about that. My athletic wear purge, I will link that above for y'all too. It was hard letting a lot of things go, but I think I did good for myself, and being that that is on my no buy, I'm not buying that the entire year. I want to make sure I have options, so I kept a lot, but I think that's gonna help me not spend money in the long run, if that makes sense. I did not get to my vanity / makeup declutter or the boys' bedroom closet organization, so I'm gonna bump that to the month of February and hoping that gets done. My weekly grocery budget was between $100 to $150 per month. Every week I did write the total. When I tell you guys in the grocery haul, I also write it for the week. So it's easy for me to go back up and tally up how much I spent on groceries throughout the month to tell you guys. So for the month of January, we spent a total on groceries of $707.81. Now I will go ahead and tell you the price comparison from January 2024 to now 2025. In 2024, are y'all ready for this? Drum roll. We spent on groceries last January $1,253.13, which makes my difference in savings on groceries $545.32. Now, do I think $700 is still hefty for groceries? Hells to the yes. I would like to see that much lower. However, y'all know the struggle with the prices of everything. We're all trying to get creative as far as making more budget-friendly meals. I am trying to do that even after this month. It's still opening my eyes on, hey, we could still save by doing this. Let's try to implement that. And I'm carrying that into February 2025. But I do think that a savings of almost $550 is excellent for our budget and what we intended to do. So I'm happy with that. the prices of everything are just crazy. So I have to keep all that in the back of my mind, that we're doing the best that we can in a lot of areas when it comes to the groceries. There were some weeks where like I needed to go to the grocery that next day because we had 0 fruit, 0 milk, 0 bread. Like we are really trying to stretch our dollar and not overbuy. And even just buying what we need some days was, or some weeks I should say, was stretching the budget. Y'all know there were 2 weeks out of the month we went over $4. That's still not bad, but I'm just saying it's very wild when you really get to the nitty gritty and track all this stuff and realize just how much things are and how much we were blindly spending. And that's why we get ourselves in a little bit of a predicament, right? So that was the grocery recap. All right, that was mind-blowing in just itself, the difference in the groceries. So I'm excited for this month. My goal for February is to still keep the $100 to $150 per week, but my goal is to save even more and spend less than $707 if we can. That is my goal for the month of February. Now, out of the 31 days, I did track and color code, if y'all can see. Let me see if I can get close to it and y'all can really get in there. But I did color code a lot of these days with highlighters, and I made myself a little key down here. I did color code, and yellow is the days that we spent absolutely no money at all. So out of 31 days, we did 13 days out of 31 that we had a complete no buy, meaning there wasn't a grocery running day, there wasn't a day where I had to get gas, there wasn't a day where we had to randomly stop and pick something up for the boys, whatever. It was a 0 spend day, 13 days. That doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, that's a big deal coming from an impulsive Amazon shopper every freaking day. So that was huge for me. My goal for February is to increase that from 13 and going on up. So just had to share that with y'all. I did color code days for pink was gifts for people. I have a lot of birthdays in the month of January. We have birthdays, and today's my husband's birthday. We're going out to eat. So there's an expenditure right there. I color coded pink for gifts, our boys' needs and essentials. There was, and I even wrote in the boxes here to remind myself on why we spent money. So I didn't forget, like, what the hell did I spend all that money on that day? Oh, this is why I spent it. It wasn't just something random. We had a lot of things come up where the boys needed some necessities, so we had to get them. My robot vacuum died, like, of course, the first month. Thank you so much. I had to replace it. That's a necessity for me. So things like that. The blue days, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are going out to eat. We went out to eat 5 days out of the month. We don't go out and eat other than dinner. So that's pretty good. We could scale that back, and my goal is to do that for February. And then green was my grocery running days, or if I got my nails done, I do that once a month, and I get a massage once a month, and those are non-negotiables for me, included in all the no-buy stuff. So that's the wrap up of the calendar. Let's talk about temptations that I had when starting this no-buy. So I journaled and documented the entire month when I had feels of temptation. Let me just stress that this reminded me a lot of my health journey. And when I first started my weight loss journey way back when, I'm talking like 15 years ago, when I first started to lose the initial weight, it reminded me so much of that, so many of those same feels. And I compare it to like having withdrawals. Same thing when you aren't able to eat all the delicious food that you want, when you're in a calorie deficit and losing body fat. Same thing when you have an addiction, and that's what it ends up being, guys. Like at one point I was addicted to food, and that's why I got in the predicament that I did, and I was just negligent with it. It's the same thing with this. I had gotten addicted to impulse buying, specifically Amazon impulse buying, or being influenced off of Instagram, YouTube, TikTok to buy something because somebody was talking about it. Now look, I know myself, being on social media, I have promoted a lot of things, not sponsored or anything, but just things that I use and I love, I talk about, and I know it's easy for y'all to hear me talk about something and go straight to cart, add to cart, you know what I mean? And my goal, y'all have heard me say in many videos, is not to influence you guys in that way anymore. It's to de-influence you to save as much as possible. But if you have the means to buy those things, if you hear me talking about them and they're not on your no buy, no list or whatever, and you need them, then it's okay. You know, you have justification of doing that. But just to like run and buy because someone says it's the latest and greatest is not the move for this year for us to save money. And that was super hard for me because your girl is a scroller on TikTok hardcore. I think I'm getting on the right side of TikTok now to where it is more about budget friendly and saving money, meals, frugal meals and all that, and not like, oh, buy this latest makeup product. That was where I was getting in trouble hardcore because your girl is a sucker. Even though I've talked about before, I use the same shit all the time. There's a couple new products here and there that are like, wow, yes, I'm glad that's in my arsenal. But for the most part, I don't know why I continue to buy these things they say, because they are straight up trash for me and my aging skin. You know what I mean? So that was a temptation. Social media. Social media is a huge temptation, guys. So what I'm saying is if you are following a specific account that is just all about like buying their product or pushing, like there's plenty of accounts that is their job. And look, no shade to them at all. I am not throwing anybody under the bus or talking about anybody. But if it is not helping and serving you in your journey right now, maybe you want to not have their stories be viewed or something right now. If that's all they're constantly pushing, if it's going to be something that gets you in trouble and makes a temptation for you. Just an idea. No shade to them at all. Their temptations for the month of January were the Hydro Jug launch. Y'all know the cups that we use, the 40-ounce tumblers. Absolutely love those. I have 2 of those and I have one on Amazon. So I have 3 40-ounce tumblers. Do I need any more? No, I do not. They had the most cutest checkered relaunch, because it sold out so fast the first time. They relaunched it, and that really was like, oh, I want them. I want it so bad. But of course we did not buy it. Let it go on its merry way. Didn't fight anybody to be able to get in the queue and, you know, get all the things. So saved a lot of stress, I'm sure too. And then Buff Bunny, y'all know if you watch that athletic purge video, they had their launch for January. They're going to have a launch probably every month. I just got to get over it. I told you guys that I haven't been too impressed with their stuff here as of late. I do like their Halloween collections, usually is where I buy the most. So I am allowing myself to do that come Halloween. But they had a launch. I wasn't impressed with anything, so it wasn't too big of a temptation, but I do love watching all the athletes and stuff unbox and all, and I had to make myself not. I said, don't even watch their stuff because it's going to make you want to buy it, even if it's something you don't think is that cute. I'm that type of person, okay? So I did not do any of that. I realized Nicole Burgess, I am addicted to Amazon. I'm addicted to it. Late night Amazon buying. Being that like right before bed, I wasn't even on Amazon. Maybe I was on TikTok or watching a YouTube video, and I'd pull up the Amazon app and just see what has been randomly in my cart and say, oh, we're gonna buy that today. Psh, add to cart. And I wake up the next morning, I'm like, did I buy something before I went to bed? Sleep Amazon buying. Who is with me? That was me. I admit it. And that was huge. I felt like a crackhead coming off of crack addiction. I know that sounds ridiculous to compare it like that, but that's how I felt. Same way how I felt when I first started my weight loss journey, when I wasn't able to eat some of my favorite bad for you foods and like coming off of that addiction. I swear to you guys, that's what it is. And it was very hard the first 2 weeks of the month, I'm not gonna lie. And then after that, it's like nothing. Once you do something for so many days, 7 days, and it starts to become a habit and it gets easier, it's like that on your weight loss journey. It's like that for any habit once you start working at it. And I was working at it hardcore. I'm happy to say that I'm only getting on there now, like if I absolutely run out of something, I need to replace it. Like I just ran out of some cinnamon capsules. I take that as a supplement. I love those. And I repurchased those. That's the last thing I bought in like weeks from Amazon. So I know the mailman is so happy he's not coming to the house every day though. He's probably like, damn, did somebody die in that house? Because I am going to the house anymore to deliver packages. He probably thinks something's wrong at this point. But Amazon withdrawals, who's with me? Leave that in your comment down below. Another realization I had this month is that we have so much. We have so much. and we need to utilize what we have. And I've been preaching that in the grocery hauls, and I hope you guys are doing that. I know a lot of y'all are. Y'all start tagging me on Instagram, guys, if you're like saving money in your grocery hauls, or if you organize or purge something, whatever you're doing, cleaning, like all the things I'm trying to inspire and motivate in my journey, in hopes that you guys will follow along or help y'all. Tag me on Instagram. I love seeing you guys in the moment and comment, because I love hearing all that kind of stuff from y'all. I love, love, love it so much. But I just realized that we have so much, and there's so much we can go through when you really start being being very cognizant of that. It really opens your eyes to, wow, I'm buying shit just to buy it. Why am I buying and not shampoo? Because we actually need shampoo. I'm about to buy shampoo, I know. That's not one thing I have like in my stash or my stockpile, but just something that you might have a lot of, and you just keep buying it because they have like a new scent or something come out, or a new brand, and then you're like, why do I have 500 deodorants? I don't know. Another realization that I have come up along with the month is that I'm constantly now thinking on how I can save more money, or hey, I don't need to buy that because we have this and we can do this with it. I'm getting very creative with my dollar, getting very creative with what I have. And that is also inspiring me along the way. I know that might sound silly, but I find it to be a challenge. I find it to be almost a game, and that's my type of personality. That's my type. I am really loving that aspect of this, even though it is challenging, but I am constantly thinking of ways to spend money when it comes to the meal plan, when it comes to food, when it comes to non-grocery stuff, like, do I really need that, or can we do this instead? That has been very eye-opening, and I'm really loving that aspect of this challenge. I also cancel some subscription services to help save money over time. That is one huge thing I encourage y'all to do, is go look at your statement. There were things on there I did not realize we were still paying for. And I know I say this all the time. I know I'm not the only one. You paying for something, you're like, damn, I thought I canceled that a year ago. And girl, you've still been paying the $5.99 a month for it. Go on your statement and go and see what you're paying for, and if it's worth it, or if you forgot about it. And if not, cancel that shit. Cancel it. That's going to save you money. Anything that you can cancel and save money is going to be a huge savings over time. So I did cancel my Walmart beauty box subscription. If y'all have been with me for my channel from the beginning, 2016, we have been getting it that long, and it is 2025. And I will say there are some things in there that I have used and liked, and maybe it's something that brought me onto a new product. For the most part though, I have a huge bin that I dump travel size stuff in for when we go on trips and fly and stuff like that. And it is full to the brim of crap from the Walmart beauty boxes. That's been canceled. So that saved us some money. For YouTube, a lot of things I pay for, subscription services to help make my thumbnails, to help with analytics, with knowing what you guys like, what times to post, what tags to put on the video. All YouTubers, not all, but most of them pay for some type of service to help, because YouTube doesn't help with everything, okay? But PicMonkey, I didn't realize I was still paying for PicMonkey. I've been paying for it for a long time, and I use it once a year for a specific video. I like to go back and use that thumbnail and just edit it up. I use Canva for everything. You'll hear me talk about Canva all the time, and I use that for my thumbnails. I don't know why I've been paying the $1 million a year for PicMonkey, but the reason why I knew about it is it came out of my statement, I think, for January, for the whole year. So I'm paid for PicMonkey for the whole year, but I canceled it for next year. So I'm gonna save next year, but right now we paid for it so we could still use it. But I did cancel it, so I didn't forget. There's also a YouTube analytic subscription service. I have 2 of them. I was paying for 2, I know. I have one, a vidIQ, I pay for, and I love it. So I decided that's one I use every single time I do a video. So I decided to keep that one and cancel my other one. My other one was very expensive too, and I just recently paid for it for the year. So I do have it for a little bit longer, but went ahead and canceled it so I don't get charged next year. And then if y'all watch the most recent vlog, we are gonna be saving a ton of money this year on switching gym membership. So the gym membership that, let me just do the math on this to blow your mind on the savings for this year. versus what I would pay if I signed up again, okay? So with me switching to Crunch Fitness and paying the $12 a month, because by the time you pay the service fee where it's $9.99, you pay your little blah, blah, blah fees, it winds up being like 11 something a month, like 12 bucks. So with that versus what I would pay if I signed up where I am now, I'm saving over $400 a year, $400 a year by switching gyms. That's nuts to me in itself. So that's gonna be awesome. I just switched over to Crunch Fitness. If you didn't watch that vlog, go and give it a watch, but it has everything that you could possibly need. There were nothing but positive comments when I asked about it in that vlog. There was a couple people that said like, hey, it gets crowded in the afternoons, but what gym doesn't? Even our gym does. It's like hella packed in the afternoons. So that's, and I go in the morning, so I have a Burgess. Over $400, that was a no-brainer. And the last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with is my overall statement difference for January 2024 to January 2025. So we saved a total of, are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for it? $974.33 was the difference in my two statements in the good. In the good. When I looked at my statement just a few minutes ago before I got on this video and looked at how little I spent for this much, I haven't seen that total number on my statement and I can't tell you how long. And that in itself made me so happy that we are saving so much money. And I been getting the question like, why, what's your purpose of saving all this money? Well, we should always be in the mindset of saving money. Y'all know I was a big hardcore couponer way back in the day in the channel. And I've always been very frugal with my dollar. I've gotten very lax with it the past year, as y'all can see. I'm trying to reel it back in. The reason why is because I'd like to use this extra money that we're saving to go towards making memories versus materialistic stuff. So the kids could give a crap less about a particular gift that gets broken in a week and then it gets thrown in the trash. But what they do remember is when we went to Dollywood for Christmas, when we went on these lake house trips and Waylon caught this big of a bass at the lake or those type of things. That's what they remember, and that's what I want to spend our money on is memories and not material things. So we already do those things, but I want to do more. So I want to make sure we have big plans for this year too, as far as lots of vacations and things we want to do together. So I want to make sure all that comes to light. And so far from what we're doing, it's looking good. If you enjoyed this January No Buy 2025 recap, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe. We're going to be doing these recaps every single month. Watch the vlogs, watch the grocery hauls, because I am talking about updates throughout the month and not just one big update at the end there on what I'm learning and trying to share anything that I'm learning with you guys in the moment. And again, don't forget to leave your comment down below on all the things that you realized for the first month of your no buy, if you're still sticking with it, how much you saved. That's what I really want to hear from you guys. I want to hear all the things, but I want to hear like how much you saved on your groceries versus last year, or your overall statement, like almost $1,000 we saved, guys, by just being more mindful of where we're spending our money and not mindlessly blowing money. Mind blowing. Thank y'all so much for watching today's video. I hope it was insightful. I'm going to leave it there, insightful. And I hope that we are learning things as this journey goes. Thank y'all for being with me on this journey. Y'all are keeping me accountable. I will tell you guys that. I don't know if I would stick to all this 100% if y'all didn't have my hand and if y'all weren't carrying me along with me on this. So thank you so much. Y'all have an awesome Monday. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Let's go February. Let's go February. It's a short month. We got this. We got this as far as saving money and pinching those pennies. Before you know it, March will be here and we'll be back to the long ass month like January, and we'll have to stretch our dollar even further. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye y'all.